You're in the tower. Ygritte says we'll need to go down a level and across the beanstalk to get into the corridor to head up towards the northeast. If
Well,
that's
of
where you
course
want to
we
go.
will.
Is that indeed where you want to go now?
With this ruddy beanstalk.
You go down the stairs in the centre of the room.
Oh, right.
And
yes,
then it leads to the beanstalk, and then you climb down the beanstalk after that.
with stone hands and stone feet. Yes, of course. You mean you fall down the bloody beanstalk?
Yes, hitting every branch on the way down.
No, Andy, you bounce majestically.
Well, yes, you've got a point. Yes, I suppose.
Well, I assume the others will help you, not just stand and laugh. I mean, I would just stand and laugh, but...
Old Chinese proverb, there's nothing so funny as watching your best mate fall off a roof.
We'll tie her up to him.
So case. I have set you down. So you help Andy down, poor Britwick, and you appear on the upper level of the castle, on the end of the stalk of the beanstalk, and hopefully you can see each other. Ahead, you see a corridor that turns to the north and has a pair of double doors in the south.
I shall sneak forward.
You shall you?
Well, I'll attempt to do so.
There you go. There's a roll requested. So Sherlock takes point and sneaks to the edge of the corridor, presumably. You see a lot of arches with windows in them up the corridor on the left-hand side here. And there's some double doors to your south. There's some double doors at the far end of the corridor, which is about 100 feet long.
So do I hear anything or see out?
You can hear the crashing and the thundering of the storms through those windows, and if you look on the other side of them, if you sneak up and have a look on the other side, you see like a building suspended by walkways in the centre of a gigantic thunderstorm. But other than that, you can't hear anything else. Perhaps the sound of the thunder and the lightning is drowning everything out.
Well, I'll just wave to the others to see if they come on.
I'll follow. Very well. So the rest of you head down the corridor and join Sherlock at the bottom. So you arrive at the double doors. I don't believe they have anything on them. No, they don't have anything on the doors. They look like normal doors to give you any kind of clue.
Did her familiar say which way we were heading again?
If you're heading to the laboratory, it's to the northwest. In the very, very northwest corner, he says. We will go north up this corridor, turn to the right and go through the minstrel's gallery. Actually, no, hang on. He says, no, I'm mistaken. There is not a doorway to get that way. We would have to go through the room to the south and... Oh, no, there is no direct access from this part of the castle. You have to go down and then across to the other side.
So how do we go down? Back on the beanstalk?
On the beanstalk. Or there's a spiral staircase to the north. Round the corner there, he says, pointing up the corridor.
Let's go and have a look at the spiral staircase whilst we're here.
Right, I'll sneak up to those doors on the north.
Right, you head up to the doors at the north, and the first thing you notice is there is a big carving above the door of a lion rampant wearing a crown with silver spikes upon it.
We can't use those doors then. I shall come back down and let them know that these doors are that iron line ones.
What's to your left door?
I'll have a look. What is it, Rich?
It's a circular chamber decorated with sculpted reliefs depicting humans and demons partaking in grotesque revels. A spiral staircase with a golden handrail leads down in the middle of the room.
Is this the spiral staircase he was talking about?
It is the one to the north.
I thought we had to go through the doors. Oh well. I shall sneak to the spiral staircase and have a look down.
You look down. And Ygritte says if we go down these stairs, go directly west through the ballroom, there'll be another set of spiral stairs that'll lead up on the other side of this castle. You look down and it just descends into another circular chamber below. The depictions of the demons and the humans continue down the spiral and lead into the room below. It looks to be about 30 feet.
Well, I shall sneak down the spiral staircase then.
Right, you sneak down the spiral staircase and it's almost a mirror image of the corridor you've just come up. However, in this case, there's a door to the west, and above the door is a stone carving of a lion rampant with a silver crown with silver spines upon it.
Ask him if he can open these doors.
Ygritte says, no, if you need to go and speak to Wrath and put the crown on Wrath's head and it'll open all of the lion doors. Or use powerful magics, neither of which I'm capable of, I'm afraid, because Wrath would just gobble me up in one bite.
You said if we put a crown on it, it would open all the doors, yeah?
We did, didn't we?
We put a crown on him, so surely all the doors are open.
You put the crown on Envy. Earl beat Wrath to death. It was the lion. You put the crown on the heart.
All right, well, if Wrath's dead, then we should be able to get through them.
I ask him if knock would work.
I imagine it would, yes. So you're heading down the stairs all?
Yeah. Yeah, because that's the way to get to the laboratory.
Okay, because I'm having to swap your maps, so bear with. So you appear on the lower level, and as you can see, it's almost a mirror image of the map you saw before. And in fact, yeah, so you see the doors to the west are locked with that image of the lion above it.
I'll say it's Sherlock. Can you do the honours?
I cast knock on the doors.
You cast knock on the door, and with a great shudder, the door unlocks and swings open, and then begins to slowly swing close again. You know, like those doors with the automatic closing on.
Quickly grab them so don't push me weight up against them so that they don't shut.
Yeah, you can feel them gently pushing against you, exactly as if they're like automatically closing, but not like powerful enough to force against you.
Let's get through quickly then.
Right, so you step into the ballroom, the large area ahead. A grand ballroom lies before you. The northern part of the floor is littered with splintered remains of 3 doors that have been knocked from their hinges, leaving openings which you can see adjoining rooms. Throughout the ballroom, royal courtiers stand motionless, their eyes fixed on a black iron cauldron atop a dais in the middle of the chamber. Dark vapours rise from the cauldron, and a huge dragon-like monster is coiled around it. The dragon's body twitches slightly, and its closed eyelids flutter as it dreams. It does that thing that dogs do, where its front legs sort of like twitches. 2 statues of frozen statue-like off to one side of the cauldron, an imperious middle-aged woman with long white hair and white robes, and a younger woman clad in armour and wearing a white cape. The older woman is reaching desperately towards the cauldron, while the armoured woman at her side is grasping a fine-looking quarterstaff.
I'll shout, all right!
Which one looks like Zybilna?
You shout, all right. And, okay, so, well, at least this is going to be a short session. And let me just pop these young ladies onto the encounter map so we know exactly where they are. One of them you recognise, she has a tattoo that looks like an upside-down trident under one eye. And as you cry out loudly, the Jabberwocky begins to twitch and stir around the cauldron. What do you guys do?
I'll sing a lullaby.
I would like to rage.
I'll cast Chain Lightning. Well, Core Lightning.
David's like, oh, peace, that's not going to happen.
Okay. Ygritte shuts his eyes and goes, well, it's been nice knowing you. I guess we'll still request an initiative roll. So first up, we have Sherlock.
Ask everybody to stop, and I'll be my persuasiveness and use what you call it, that yellow dot things?
The yellow
influence.
The influence.
Inspiration.
Inspiration.
Ah, right. I see what you mean.
I'll be as persuasive as possible. Inspiration. Try to talk this Jabberwocky into letting it know that we're here to release his mistress.
Being that I just want to rage and beat the shit out of things, but that I'm a nice guy, I will actually stop raging, like abort raging, and wait to see what happens.
Right, so
the first sign of anything bad, I'm going to rage and beat the shit out of it.
You're going to attempt to converse with the Jabberwocky. Okay. It stirs, and what language do you speak to it in, Dave?
Sylvan.
Right, you attempt to speak to it in Sylvan. It stirs, but doesn't seem to do anything. Britwick.
Those doors we've just come through, have they closed again?
If you leave and go of the door, they will close and click locked.
Was there a window right behind me?
It is, yes. Or there's some double doors to the south, but again, they appear to have the lion door above it. And there's some doors to the west where Ygritte was hoping you could get through without problems. And he says there's another spiral staircase leading up to the other half of the castle through those doors.
I'm going to try and sidle along here into this corner.
Rich, does this Jabberwocky look like it's too big to get through the west doors?
It does, yes.
Right then, I'm dash. Oh fuck! I can't dash and cast, can I?
No,
Oh,
you
shit.
cannot. So, Britwick, are you are you finished your turn?
I've got I can dash in this opportunity, and I just shout, run.
Right, the door has clicked closed behind you because nobody said they were holding on to the door. And it is locked again.
Right, well,
You run to the other door. The other door also has a lion lock on it. Britwick,
Yeah.
are you finished your turn?
Yeah, that's fine.
Elvana.
Call lightning on the Jabberwocky.
Oh, God. We're all going to die. But that's fine.
Oh, wait a minute. It is an area, isn't it? So I can target all of them, can't I?
Oh.
Oh, well, no. I'll just do the Jabberwock. Hopefully, when they see how powerful I am, they might, and when I defeat this Jabberwocky, that they'll,
the only other thing.
fall on their knees and beg.
No, there's one I just thought of. Nutmeg runs to Savannah and touches her with his what do you call it? The horn. And says her name.
Oh, that's a good idea. I'll try that. And then because I can run and touch her, then stab the fuck out of that thing.
Right.
Right, now this lasts for 10 minutes, I believe.
It does, yes.
Yep. Lush.
Right, so the lightning arcs down and the Jabberwocky screams an awful scream that I'm afraid I can't, with my voice, even attempt to make.
Ah! That fucking hurt. How's that?
Yes. Madness flashes in its red eyes. And Elvana's moving across there, yeah?
That's my go.
Okay, next up we have Dobbsy.
Shank him, Dudley. Shank him.
If we can't get out the room, I'm going to go up the wall and across this way.
And how high are you going up the wall?
10, I believe.
Okay. Dobbsy runs up the wall. Is that your turn?
Yeah.
Right, unidentified creature. Tis the Jabberwock's turn. The Jabberwock burbles to itself, making an incredibly confusing noise. And Elvana and Dobbsy, you feel some kind of strange effect coming from this burble. Success for Dobbsy. Elvana, you can't take reactions until the start of your next turn, and you must roll a d4 to see what you actually do this turn. So you can't take reactions anymore. Then, because you're the one that lightened it, it fires, its eyes light up, and a beam of red hot fire.
What's the for? What did I roll? What was that for?
No, that's the start of your next turn. A beam of white hot fire shoots out of its eyes. It burns incredibly badly. You've never felt heat like it. You should take 28 points of fire damage, and you are not blinded. It's just a burning sensation.
The map's gone black then. I can't see.
Yeah, it's because I accidentally blinded you. Don't worry about it, I'll unblind you.
Thank you. I don't like being in
And
the
then the Jabberwock charges.
Fight time, fight time, fight time.
Yeah, it easily charges forward and it attacks you. Right, it's used its fiery gears. So that is the end of its turn. It's used its gears, so it can't do anything else at the moment. Ygritte cowers in the corner as best as he can, screaming, I'm going to die, I'm going to die. Oh my god, we're all going to die. And in fact gets jammed in a wall. Well done, Ygritte. And finally it's Nutmeg. Do you
Awesome.
wish to rage?
I would like to rage a lot.
Okay, I need to... You've already got... I need to delete your...
I've just re-raged.
Re-raged, yeah. So we'll get rid of...
You just have to touch Natasha with the horn and say her name.
I'm doing it, dude.
So basically, what happens is... you've got danger sense. This is really dangerous.
Actually, me call lightning would have hit them too as well, because it's not targeted. It's 60-foot radius.
Is it a 60-foot radius? Because it'll probably hit the party.
Not if I target
Right, the first one...
I haven't got a circular thing.
You don't have spell slots, well. The second one is, for 1 minute, each ranged spell by the caster also launches a level 1 magic missile at a random target. So if you do a ranged attack, it also fires a magic missile. Your hands begin to glow.
Awesome. I'm going to run over to her and touch her with me nubbler.
Right, well, hold on. So Tracy, does it automatically hit everything in 60 feet range?
It's a storm cloud appears in the shape of a cylinder that is 10 feet tall with a 60-foot radius, centered on a point you can see within range, directly above you. The spell fails if you can't see a point in the air where the storm cloud could appear. For example, if you are in a room that can't accommodate the cloud, but it is a big ballroom, so it would.
Yeah, but I think you choose where the shot goes.
Yeah, when you cast the spell, choose a point you can see under the cloud. A bolt of lightning flashes down from the cloud to that point. Each creature within 5 foot of that point must make a dexterity saving throw. A creature takes 3d10 lightning damage on a failed save, or half as much damage on a successful one. On each of your turns until the spell ends, you can use your action to call down lightning in this way, again targeting the same point or a different one. If you are outdoors in stormy conditions when you cast this spell, the spell gives you control over the existing storm instead of creating a new one. Under such conditions, the spell's damage increases by 1d10. You did say it was stormy outside, didn't you?
I did, yes, and the roof is open because the Jabberwock has smashed a hole in it. Right, so that is the radius of a call lightning.
No, but from a point I can see.
Yeah, but you called it down on the Jabberwock, didn't you? Who was in the centre of the room?
Yeah, but I didn't. I wanted a targeted.
She can only hit whatever in the radius.
Yeah, you can hit whatever's in the radius, Tracy. That's so you can basically. I put that on so you can check. You can hit everything in that room. Right, so you can call it down on a target and you can hit anything in the room. Nutmeg. So you've run over.
I'm going to nudge her with my horn, and I'll smash the shit out of the Jabberwocky.
Okay, so you nudge her with your horn.
Shout, Natasha!
I'm going to shout Natasha and nudge her with my horn.
Right, you feel something magical begin to happen as you do this.
Awesome. I'm going to smash the shit out of the Jabberwocky.
And then you swing at the Jabberwocky. Go for it.
I'm sure I had that targeted.
Right, well, I've targeted it for you. I think that hits. It does hit. The second one misses.
My map went black. Oh no, it's alright, it's a different map. Right. I can't do my horn attack because I've touched a lady with my horn.
Right, so as you attack it from behind, you've touched the lady with your horn. Yeah. Is that your turn?
It is, and I'll go, hello lady, feel my horn.
Right, so as you do that, the Jabberwocky's tail, you stand by, lashes out towards you.
You're going to miss, bitch.
I don't know, he's pretty good. Yeah, so the tail lashes you and you take 12 damage, knocking the wind from you.
I'll go.
And is that the end of your turn?
Sadly, yes.
Sherlock, you're right next to the Jabberwock.
It looks like it's going to be Bless, and I think I can only target me and through the party. Dobsy's out of the...
Oh, you had a long rest, didn't you?
Aye, I think Dobsy's out of range.
No worries.
Oh, no, hold it. Move?
Yes. Where would you like to move to?
Otherwise, you'll get an opportunity attack on us.
Yes, he will.
Oh shit, Dobsy's still out of range.
Well, it could be
Why
worse.
don't you just open the door? Do you ever want an escape?
Can I undo that, Rich?
Can you undo it and just cast knock?
Aye.
You can, yes.
I cast knock on the doors.
Right, again with a great big booming noise, the door unlocks and flies open.
I move
and
into.
then slowly begins to swing closed. The other one is now locked.
I move into the doorway and try and hold it back.
Okay, so you move into the open doorway. You see before you a room identical to the other one with a circular staircase leading up and a corridor that leads onwards. Right at the end of your turn, the Jabberwocky does a rend attack again on Elvanalor, who has zapped it with lightning. It hits. It rends it with its claws, and Elvanalor, bloodied, goes down. Britwick, it is your turn. The door has flown open.
Right. How useless are my hands?
Your hands, they're basically clenched in the position you were, so you can hit things with them.
Does Elvana have anything I can sort of loop my arm through and drag her out the road with?
Yes, you could.
Right, well, in that case, can I motor there, get hold of Elvana, and then drag her through here?
I'm going to say yes, you can.
Right. I shall do that then.
Right, so you run through the spiral staircase, dragging Elvana.
Yep.
Is that your turn?
Unless I can try any sort of medicine-y, first-aidy type of thing.
Not with those hands, you can't.
Well, yes, that is my turn then.
Right, Elvana, we're going to have a death saving throw. It's a success. It's good. Dobbsy. You see the Jabberwock puts Elvana down in a flurry of blows and she's dragged out of the room by Britwick.
I run straight over and attack it.
So that's 40 feet of movement because you run down the wall and run up to fight the Jabberwocky.
Yeah. Have I got... Yes, I have got 40 feet movement, yep.
Stab him in the man twat.
You did it again.
Oh, yeah, hang on.
Oh, it's a hit. As you stab him in the man twat, or the Jabberwocky twat, it takes 18 damage. It looks barely injured.
Offhanded.
Also a hit, nice. An extra 2 damage, he felt that. Right, so, is that your turn?
I think it will have to be. I've got no action left, so...
Right, the Jabberwocky, its eyes have... its eyes turned bright red and it shot fire out of them at Elvana, and then they went back to its pale, milky whiteness. The eyes stay white. So now it gets to just attack things. And it attacks... I'm going to...
Come on, you great big bastard, yeah.
You wanted to attack you? Well, okay, it'll attack you.
I'll have you.
It's quite happy to make some rend attacks upon you. So the first one...
When I was in Vietnam...
hits.
Oh.
You are heavily injured. The second one hits. And... you partially resist the damage, but it's hurt real bad. So next up we have Igric, who attempts to run like mad and get out of the door. He uses the dash action so that he can actually clear. And he doesn't have any magic, but he will make a medicine check on Elvana to stabilize her, which is a DC 10. And he rolls a 1. Okay. I don't know what to do with your human parts. And then the Jabberwocky gets to use...
Human!
You all look the same to me. He uses his legendary wing attack on you, Ulster.
I'll punch him in the twat.
Punch me in the twat.
Right. Oh, this is nice. The Jabberwocky beats its wings. Each creature within 10 feet of the Jabberwocky must make a saving throw or take bludgeoning damage and be knocked prone. Nice. So I'm going to target you 3. Didn't realise how much fun this was. And sadly, only the rogue takes the damage and is knocked prone. That's a sight to see. Now it's your turn, Nutmeg.
Right, you bastard, yeah. I'll have him.
Go ahead. Have him indeed.
He started this by being,
Here. And
I'll
asleep.
be reckless. Hang on. I'm going to switch reckless attack on because...
He's asleep.
Penny.
He was described as having a dream.
I'll give him a fucking nightmare.
Yeah, but then Nutmeg said, "Oh yeah." So then he wanted to rage. Like he looked really set on attacking him. So
For fuck's sake, I'll stamp my horn.
You
Headbutt, motherfucker!
you slash at the Jabberwocky, but its skin is like iron as the blows glance harmlessly off. Is
You
that your
great
turn?
big bastard, you! I'll turn round to that lass I stuck with the horn and go, "Are you awake yet?
She is unmoving. She look.
Oh, wake up!"
I
The
cast
fuck?
mass healing words on those.
I believe Healing Word is a 10-minute cast time. You might want to check it. Mass
No,
Healing
that's
Word.
word of prayer.
All right. So Mass Healing Word is a big.
It's basically just an upshot of healing word.
Oh, it's 6 creatures of your choice within 60 feet. Nice. Yeah, I like it. Right, Elvana, you come around. You are prone on the floor. And the last thing you remember was razor-sharp claws like swords tearing into you.
And I'll move
Okay, and where do you move to?
just into the doorway
Right,
there.
so the door is trying to shut itself, but you move into the doorway and it presses gently against you, but not hard enough to actually stop. Is that your turn?
Yes.
Britwick. Elvana has come round, luckily.
Oh, thank God for that. Well, I guess I'll stand there, like, wringing my hands as much as you can when your hands are made of stone, and ask her if she's all right. Is there anything I can do?
I'll be fine. I'll be fine. Don't worry.
'Cause I can't exactly go in there and fight that in this state, can I?
Igric is like shouting at you. At what point did you not understand bloody beak or snicker snack? You had 2 options. 2. Right, so
But you never said punch him in the tit.
is that your turn, Britwick?
Yep, sorry, yes, it is.
Elvana, you're on the ground prone. Do you want to get
use
up? It's half your movement.
Stand up.
Yep.
And then going to cast Cure Wounds at level 3 on myself. Right? And will me call lightning have stopped?
Yes,
Yeah?
because you've been unconscious.
And I will. Oh, that's. If I've cast Cure Wounds, can I still use a bonus spell?
No.
Cast a bonus spell.
No,
as
you
well?
have to cast a cantrip as your main action to use a bonus spell.
Right. I'll go and stand near the doorway, and then I'll use the rest of my movement to stand near the doorway
Okay,
in case they need help.
not a problem. Dobbsy, you are prone. Sadly, the Jabberwocky has no legend reactions this turn.
I want to stand back up. So that's half my action, I believe.
Half your movement, yeah.
Half my movement. And can I use the rest of it with my spider climbing boots to basically run up the Jabberwocky's back?
I think they only work on walls, not on creatures. I could be wrong.
Well, if they don't, no worries.
It says you can move up, down, and across vertical surfaces and upside down along ceilings. So it doesn't allow you to move on slippery surfaces such as ice. So it's not for running along creatures,
Okay,
I'm afraid.
I'll just shag it and then I'll move.
Okie doke. Yes, because it can't get an opportunity attack against you. It's a hit. It's 6 damage.
Am I off-handed?
You forgot to put your sneak attack on.
I certainly did.
You did.
Oh well.
You can sneak attack with an offhand attack as well. So you stab the Jabberwock. Its skills like iron, doing a little bit of damage to it.
And then I move.
So you move to there. It is the Jabberwocky's turn, my son. The Jabberwocky recharges its fiery gaze and its eyes turn red as it looks at you, Earl.
I was going to say I'll kick him in the balls.
This is not going to end well.
You
He started it.
succeed, so you only take half damage. Nutmeg is looking incredibly badly as he's now burnt. So your unicorn paper mache helmet is now black and burnt there.
Oh, I'll have to get James to redraw that.
And that is his turn. So next up we have Igric. He shouts, "She's got 3 names, you bloody idiot!" And on the end of
Well,
his...
what are the other feckin' names?
He told you last week. He says,
I didn't
"I'm
listen.
sure you wrote them down and listened to us."
One of them was Natasha.
So what it does is it makes a rend attack upon you at the end of Igric's turn, Earl. Because this thing really wants to kill you. It hits. It slashes through you, and Earl goes down. This thing looks like it will keep attacking. Even it will keep attacking a down 4.
Well, of course it will.
So that is its turn, and next up we have Nutmeg, who fails a death saving throw. Sherlock,
I will lie there and be quite cross.
you lie there and bleed badly. It's still continuing to target.
Can I dash, grab that horn of his head, press it against Natasha, and say all her 3 names?
Yes, what are they?
Can I get a check for memory?
You can say one name.
Natasha.
Yes, I have mentioned
On
her
that one.
names on many occasions throughout the module.
Is it
Zybilna.
You dash, make your dash first, because you're using your action if you dash, remember? So you can't grab the horn and use it. You can either run, or you can run, and if you can reach and pick the horn up and use it, or you can dash. The door slowly begins to swing closed again as soon as Sherlock moves.
I'm in the doorway, so I'll keep it open.
And so Sherlock, you get adjacent to Nutmeg, who lies bleeding out on the ground.
I'll go to pick up the horn and try to remember all 3 of the names.
Right, you can claim another name. So you touch the horn and say what?
Sylvina.
Yeah, so you touch the ground, and again, there's powerful magic comes out from the unicorn horn.
I shout at the, what you call it, what's the other name?
Right, so that is your
Ygritte.
turn, Britwick.
I'll just stay where I am for the minute.
Probably for the best, Elvana.
Cast Healing Spirit, and that was a bonus action spell, I believe.
Yeah,
So I can still cast a cantrip.
you can. Even the hags are fear of the Jabberwocky. They've said, the letters you've read said that it was an absolute psychopath. So that's a bonus action spell, so you can cast a cantrip.
Yeah, I'm thinking. And I'll cast Guidance on Dobsy.
Okay. Dobbsy, you are guided.
Huzzah!
Right, it's up to you, Dobbsy. The Jabberwocky goes next, and it's got its gaze firmly affixed on Nutmeg on the ground.
I will go up the wall,
Okay.
then I'll shank it.
You went up the wall. Why?
Just 'cause I can.
Fair enough. Go for it. You hit and you stab the Jabberwock. And
Then I
it's
offhand it.
covered in its own terrible blood.
God damn it.
At the end of your turn, yes, the Jabberwock hits with a rend attack. Even though you're 10 foot up the wall and you weren't expecting it to reach, it hits you with a rend attack in retaliation. It hits,
Okay.
so you take 11 damage
Can you
instead. And is that your turn? It is, isn't it?
Indeed.
Okay. The Jabberwocky looks at you, Nutmeg. Looks down as you all look out in horror, and it strikes out with a rend attack. It hits. Because he's downed, it bites into him. Its head thrashes backwards and forwards, tearing into his chest. Blood sprays about everywhere, and then it throws its head to one side as Nutmeg flies across the room and collapses with a bloody splutch noise. It
You
lies
bastard.
unmoving on the other side of the room. Unmoving, his chest cavity torn open. And then the Jabberwocky turns its attention to you, Dobbsy.
Fair enough.
Hits with a rend. You've already used your reaction, so you take 20 damage and you are heavily injured. And that is the Jabberwocky's turn.
That means another.
Ygritte tells us all 3 of the names.
Igwig shouts out, Ilgwiv!
Right, so I'll
You don't do anything. Nutmeg is dead on the ground.
Ilgriv.
Sherlock.
Right then, Unicorn against her, Sylvina, Ilgriv, Natasha.
Right, so as you press the unicorn horn to her and speak the name, the whole of the room seems to go into slow motion, and the blood, the Jabberwocky is turning its head about. It takes a huge bite out of Dobbsy. It turns its head. The blood droplets like fall in slow motion through the air, and as you see it, the sort of like everything goes ooh, and slows down, and then ooh, everything begins to slow, and Zybilna once more is able to move. Once able to move, Zybilna launches forward a step, then quickly regains her balance. Damn, too late, she says with a snarl. Her eyes dart around in search of enemies before fixing on you. Have we met? The Jabberwocky stops, tearing into Dobbsy, and goes down like a cat, prostrating itself before Zybilna.
Nay, kind lady, we be adventurers who came to rescue you and break the curse that your three sisters placed upon you and your people.
She looks slowly around the room, and she says to the Jabberwock, you notice the Jabberwock's wounds are closing? Heal. The Jabberwock, like a trained dog, comes and sits behind her. Thank you. I appreciate the effort. My sisters, you say?
Yes,
She
I
looks
believe.
and says, I wish my sisters were before me. And there's a powerful pop of magic as the three hags of the Hourglass Coven pop into existence in front of her. They look around for a second and then go see that Zybilna is moving, hold their hands out in supplication. No, little sister, it's not what you think. Her eyes turn staley and she says, I wish my sisters imprisoned for 101 years. Again, there's a pop. One appears as a small bullfrog. The second appears as a small china doll. And the third appears as a small diorama of a crucifix and a coffin with a tree, very Tim Burton-esque. And she says, so there, I'll talk to them in 100 years or so. Now, sorry, what were you saying?
There are some other miscreants. I think one of them's called Warlord, the Duke of War, something like that, who's in the castle as well. War Duke and some of these fellows.
She says, Jabberwock, hunt down these and kill them. The Jabberwock howls and screams and then takes flight, streaking straight up through the roof.
I'll turn to Zybilna and I'll say, is there anything you can do to help Britwick? And then I'll focus my attention on Nutmeg and I'll cast Revivify on him.
She looks at Britwick. Presumably you point at Britwick and she says...
yes.
And Britwick looks a bit sheepish and sort of holds his hands up.
I wish that this being be restored to his normal operation and the rocks crack and fall away, and underneath the stone is your hands. You can move them again, which is great because you had an itch and you just couldn't scratch it right in the palm of the left hand.
Yep, I scratch like buggery.
You cast Revivify
Thank you.
upon Nutmeg. Nutmeg, do you wish to return to life?
Yeah, I've got things to kick.
Right, Nutmeg, you are dragged kicking and screaming. What does your afterlife look like?
You know the magic roundabout?
Yeah.
That's my afterlife. Just sitting on the magic roundabout.
You
Time for bed. Boing.
You come round, lying in a pool of something sticky and red. Your chest hurts real bad.
I'll carry him over the period whilst we're talking to her and stand him, lay him in the healing spirits.
While she's doing that, I'll go, where's that little fucker? I'll have him!
Just sit there, get healed.
I had him just where I wanted him.
I'll explain to Zybilna about the Witchlight Carnival and people losing traits and that. And unfortunately, my friend, Barbarian Fairy, is still missing a part of his soul.
I'm not. I'm fine. It's lies.
She says, my spies kept me informed of my sister's deal with the Witchlight Carnival. The Witchlight Carnival struck a bargain where that people that were stealing from them could also be stolen from. Although the
Yep.
Witchlight Carnival was not
You can't
complacent with that.
can't exactly apply that rule to children who have no knowledge of doing wrong. Surely it should only affect those who knowingly know that they're doing wrong. But as a child, you don't know the boundaries of right and wrong so early on, and it's such a cruel punishment when inflict upon such innocent lives.
She says, well, while my sisters, she looks down at the three small icons that used to be the hourglass coven on the floor, are imprisoned, the fair bargain will be null and void. Perhaps you can inform Mr. Witch and Mr. Light of such.
Yeah, we're still looking for what do you call it? I don't forget his name. Hurley. A bugbear.
She looks out, and you can almost sense that she's gazing around the entire of Prismere. And then she looks and she says, I wish that Prismere be restored to the condition it was before I was imprisoned by my cauldron. And sort of she's surrounded by a bubble of colours and sound, and as they spread out, it spreads out from her. You can see things are changing. All of the rubble is flying back into the walls. The chips in the walls are suddenly becoming repaired. Everything looks a little brighter as the sunlight is, and the bubble spreads out, goes through the wall, and heads out into Prismere. She says, Prismere shall be restored to one land. You wish the being Hurley brought here?
Yeah, we have to. We're told his brother will find him and bring him back to the Witchlight Carnival, as long with a cub called Star, a displacer beast cub. And I think we still got to turn some thumbs back to this spider being in a sloping tower.
Well, as the rule of reciprocity, I am bound to aid you. Would you like these creatures brought here?
Yes, if you so wish, my lady.
Would there be anything else that you wish before I return you home?
Yeah, I wish you would sort out her mum, and I'll point at Elvana.
She laughs and says, perhaps I will. And this time she gestures, and portals open in the room in front of you. And on the side of the portal, you first of all see a room in the castle next to the dressing room, where a bugbear that resembles Burley in almost every detail resides. Obviously, the magic that's spreading through Prismere will take a while to come through. And then behind the second portal is the balloon and the small figure of Star. And then a portal opens into the tower where the Ettercap lies. Zybilna says, step through. I command you, no harm shall come to you. And the creatures step through almost as if they're unwilling, although they're not moving like they're charmed, as they step through and appear in the room before you.
I thank her kindly for aiding us.
Can I have a private word, Mrs. Zybilna?
Well, it's unusual, but and with a snap of her fingers, you're in a bubble of air that only you and Zybilna can speak.
There's nothing wrong with us, right? Because they keep saying I've lost someone, but there's nothing wrong with us. I reckon they're all mental. So if you could just tell them I'm all fine now, and they'll behave.
If that is your heart's desire.
It is.
Very well, then. So she snaps her fingers, the bubble of air disappears, and says, Nutmeg is exactly as Nutmeg was meant to be.
Told you. Ooh, flowers. I'll put some flowers in my hair.
Oh, God.
She says, is there anything else that your heart desires?
Yeah. Do you know what a tank is?
No.
In that case, no.
A water tank appears before you.
Not what I was thinking of, but okay.
There's nothing I can think of right at the moment, my lady.
I would just like to appear to save someone in truly desperate times.
I thank you, and you're welcome should you return to Prismere. So, shall we get you back to your homes now?
Well,
Yeah, they'll probably be missing me in the City Watch.
well, maybe the Witchlight Carnival first, just so we can say our goodbyes to them.
And
Because I've got to return a teacup as well.
and
I'll leave that to you, mate. See
she
you all
says,
later.
let me remind you that that student of mine owes you some treasure. Yes, I know that he sent you to look for me. She says, very well. Thank you, my friends. And I wish you well. And with that, the sky splits in two with a bone-shaking crash. Two tiny blue-haired gnome children sit in wide-eyed attention. The girl claps her hands excitedly, while the boy sits mouth agape. But, Uncle, did they get home? They burble excitedly. Lantesh opens the door and peers around the bedroom, a single strand of grey hair marking her blue hair. Bedtime for the tots now, Sanwin. No more stories tonight. Oh! Cry the children. Sanwin stands stiffly and reaches for his cane, which clicks as he limps across the room. Pausing at the door, his part human, part dragon face splits into a wide grin. Why, children, the second book is far too scary for bedtime stories. Perhaps we'll read it when you're older. We cut back to the castle. Zybilna utters the word to send you back home forth from Prismere. I wish these adventurers return hence to the carnival of Mr. Witch and Mr. Light. The mists that surround Prismere begin to curl around your feet and up your legs. And then a thought as the mist reaches round your throat. You remember Mr. Mist and Mr. Light were not the Witchlight's original owners. Panting, the dark-haired young woman runs on bloody bare feet through the forest beneath a pale moon. Stealing a glance behind her, she gasps as her torn nightdress snags on the sharp twigs of the forest around her. She runs around a tree and crashes into a dark shape hidden behind it, letting out a scream which is quickly cut off. The mists finally begin to thin as you appear somewhere else. Dobbsy, you appear first. You step forward, you hear the others behind you, when a white-clad figure crashes into you, looks up at you before screaming and fainting. There's a low growl as 6 wolves come out of the forest in a circle surrounding you all. Their red eyes matching the red foam coating their muzzles. Directly ahead of you, a red-eyed wolf the size of a pony stalks into the clearing, and a low rumbling growl escapes its muzzle. The girl's eyes flicker open as she comes round a little. What kind of beast are you? You're like nothing I've seen in the land of Barovia. And that, ladies and gentlemen, is how you finish a campaign.
That was
You were a star, Richie. A star.
absolutely fantastic.
Brilliant. I love the way Dobbsy always has that effect on girls.
He certainly does. So perhaps there will be a second book.
I love the Lantesh bit at the end. That was canon.
Well, Sam didn't get to say fireball. I'm upset.
If you didn't get wrong. So that is the end of The Wild Beyond the Witchlight. But perhaps one day we might return to the lands of Barovia to see if you can find the Carnival of Mr. Witch and Mr. Light.